You know, I did something very bad a couple of weeks ago. Late one Saturday night, I saw this post on Facebook. It said, "Share this photo, or else your worst streak begins." I did not share the photo. My worst streak began. First, I had trouble sleeping. All night, I had trouble sleeping. Monday morning, I woke up. We were all out of waffles, pancakes, and cereal. So I had to go to the grocery store. But unfortunately, all the lanes had at least 3 people in line with carts, except for the lanes that did not have anybody working at all. I gotta sue that place, but I didn't. Later that night, my parents made me go to a funeral for a relative or a family friend. It was somebody they knew, but I did not remember knowing. I did not really want to be there. Just because a relative was somebody that I knew relative to me, I wanted to be there for them. My parents were socializing people a lot longer than I wanted to be there. I had to deal with a lot of older people who knew me when I was a kid, who I don't remember at all, saying stupid things like, "Yay, you've got to big." Stupid old people. Did that on Tuesday. I had to take a book back to I had to take some library books back. More on that later. I wanted to go bowling with my friends, except none of them had time to bowl, so I had to go bowling alone. I made an almost perfect game, but I didn't bowl against anybody, so it doesn't really make a big difference. It did that my parents found out by the time I was in the first grade. I got an F on a homework paper, but threw the paper in the trash before leaving school so they wouldn't find out. I was grounded for the rest of the day. On Wednesday, I found one of my overdue library books that I had forgotten about, so I had to take the time to get there. So I was driving, I stopped at this red light, but I had a turn and there's no green arrow, and there were cars going in the opposite direction. I had to wait for them to go by. I had to sit through 3 red lights before I could go. Then the parking lot of the library was really small. The only parking spot I could get into was one of those really tiny ones, so I had to squeeze between 2 cars. Then when I was driving out, it was just as hard to get out, but there were like a couple cars trying to pass. I wanted them to pass by because it's hard enough without the cars. But no, those car drivers had to be so considerate and let me through first. And that day was payday. So I got my paycheck. I drove to the bank. I got there 5 minutes before closing time, and they closed early. I had to wait a day to get my paycheck. I don't like that at all. On Thursday morning, I went for a drive on the highway, except suddenly I got stuck in a big traffic jam. And the traffic wasn't just moving a few feet every few minutes. The traffic was actually stuck for 6 straight hours. I got hungry after 3 hours and started having to go to the bathroom after 5. And as soon as I got off the highway, I got to a red light. It was another one of those cases where I had to turn in that direction, but there's no green arrow. So I was driving, there's one car that was coming up. So I had my path, they had to stop before turning red again. And then it was raining, that car had backed up, and they got in the next turning lane. How dare they? If they only got in that turn lane right away, I would have been able to turn sooner. Then on Friday, I got my library book for late feedback, and it was a lot more expensive than I expected. I owed 6 cents more than I thought. Wow. Then I had to take one of my cousin's dogs for a walk. I expected to do it for only 15 minutes, but the dog kept wanting to stop and sniff and pee everywhere. So what should have took me 15 minutes, took me 27 minutes. That was hard to do. Some of the girls at work I wanted to flirt with, but they wanted to focus on their jobs instead of me flirting on them. But the worst of the worst week happened on Saturday, the last day of the worst week. First, I went to pee and got struck by lightning. Then I went to my car, there were snakes in the car. Then I went to mail later, my hand got stuck in the big mailbox, and I got sucked right into the mailbox. And then I went to the barber shop, and it had been on fire. And finally, after all that worst, stressful week, I decided to smoke for the first time. I bought a cigarette and a lighter, but right before I could light the cigarette, a big piano fell on me. But then the worst week ended. I'm living happily ever after now. And next time I see a picture on Facebook that says, share this or your worst week begins, I am definitely going to share it.